You opened up for quite a few people lately. You've been moving and grooving. Don't think we forgot.
We got to talk about that.
You opened for Ari Lennox at a couple of her shows, and heard you mention that you opened for Kali Uchis.
Yes.
Tell me about collaborating with these folks. Tell me what it felt like to be on tour. What's tea?
So last year was my first year touring, first year on the road. I did Ari Lennox's ASL tour. I did all her dates. I did Kali Uchis, and I did Victoria Monét at the end of the year.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it was.
Okay, how about this? What did you learn from each one of those experiences?
Each audience is different. You know what I'm saying? And you want to still be yourself throughout all of it. Of course, with redundancy, because you're doing the same shows every night, like you got to find ways to tweak it a little bit, but sometimes just like the natural motion of yourself that day or the crowd that day, like that can work into your favor. And anything goes. I would say another thing I learned about the 3 tours, or the big difference, is just preparedness, just how to be able to pivot. Some of the resources were different in certain cities than others and certain audiences. And it's all just troubleshooting. Like, it's my first time on the road. So just really just being willing to be a student and just remembering the root of it all. And I love to sing and I love to perform and I love to share energy with people. But each crowd was different. Each city was different. Ari's crowd was different from Cali's crowd. Cali's crowd was different from Victoria's. Victoria's was different from Ari's. But they all just have the same deep love for just art and just good music and authenticity, which is something all 3 of those ladies possess. So I was just happy to be able to, share my gifts, share the stage, and just, give them a little sprinkle of, what Alex Vaughn, what that tastes like.
Because we were talking earlier, but you know what? I'm gonna let you do it. What are 3 songs that would be the perfect intro to Alex Vaughn?
To me?
Yes.
Yeah, like your body of work.
No one, somebody is living under a rock, has never heard of you. 3 songs that would be this is Alex Vaughn.
That's so crazy because I have songs from my older projects that I feel would define me, but I'm gonna just stick to the Hurt Book. No. I would say 3 songs. All right, I'm gonna start with 5, and I swear I will chop it down.
Yeah.
I would say "So Be It."
Okay.
But I think that's your most streamed song.
That is one of my most streamed songs, and I'd say that because I be in my feelings, but I really do want to find the lesson in it and move forward. And I'm learning that process of moving forward is nonlinear, and I feel like "So Be It" was that. And as much as, there's music about love, I need to learn how to love life and love the journey and the process. I feel like "So Be It" is one of the songs
Take us
that's
to therapy, girl. Take us to therapy.
I would say "Mirage" is definitely another one because I wrote all these songs, but those are my real thoughts.
Stop hallucinating over lame. Listen.
That hit you in a different way.
That's the one and not the 2.
And I would definitely say "Mirage" because, one, it was a fun song to create. I was actually very down bad when I wrote it. And when we started creating the instrumentation around it, it just turned into a whole nother experience. And the song is really about self. All the experiences I've ever had in my entire life they're about self. They're not about the other person, they're about self. And when I was in that situation specifically, nobody could talk sense into me. And sometimes...
What was the situation for those that haven't heard the song and those that don't know?
Ciao.
Man.
Gotta get in and get out.
In a nutshell, I'm gonna get in and out. In a nutshell, somebody caught me at the right time while I was just kind of not really aware of what I wanted for myself or how I viewed myself and how I valued myself, and they took advantage of it. It was just very toxic, very misleading. They say they're gonna do one thing and talk you up and then just do the exact opposite. As soon as you act like you about to leave, that's when they want to come back around, do all the things. Just very textbook. And like I said, sometimes people catch you at the right time where you kind of just want to feel something and maybe you feel like pain is what you're looking for. And that seemed to be what I needed, but I knew in my core it wasn't. And my friends saw it on my face, and I didn't really talk to my parents about it, but they can kind of just tell I was off, and nobody could snap me out of it except for me. So when I look myself in the mirror, on God, I swear I was just, stop hallucinating over lame ass niggas.
Lame ass niggas.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
I'll snap out of it in time.
I'll snap out of it in time because it's
okay.
your own process. Like,
Yeah,
they can
that's a fact.
do wrong things, but it's really like how much you allow it to happen and how much you stick around. So I think that song's important because I want people to reflect on self.
And it's just a bum ass
Does
song.
not mean they not a bum. It just means.
But they might be.
But you might have a little bum in you too.
That might have been, you said it might have been what you needed, but it's really what you felt like you deserved at the time. Is really it. That might have been what you felt like you deserved, and you just needed to snap out of that.
And I think and I think my last song will be, I would say it's a song of mine called Rain.
Okay.
It's a song of mine called Rain. It's from an old EP of mine called The Shift. Dropped it way back when. And that song is another song about self. Like, just about just trying to figure out your place in the world and how you're not the one to complain, but you don't like being uncomfortable, but you gotta have rain to get the sun. And I've always wanted to be an artist and a human in general who can find a way to get the message across without feeling like I'm preaching to you or I'm lecturing you or, oh, she's a motivational old lady. Whatever the case is.
You can get the demon time too.
Because I was going to say demon time.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I'm a child of God, and when you hear demon time, you might think something else. But that's definitely
that was my introduction. That was my introduction to
That's
you.
your introduction?
And I was like, whoa, like with the title, you know what I mean? But then as I got into it, I was like, oh, okay, like. Yeah, but I think it was just provocative.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. It really is between Rain and Demon Time because Demon Time is one of my personal favorites. And oddly enough, like all my like uncles and aunts, that sounds weird, but they be like, man, Demon Time, that's that one. You kind of went crazy on that. I'm like, thanks, guys. All right, now I'll just say Demon Time, Mirage, and so be it with a follow-up of Rain. Runner-up of Rain.
I like that.
While we stuck on here for a second, Alex, you said you write, is it all or most of your music?
I write a good 90% of my music.
Let me ask you something. So
I'm gonna actually take it down to 88 because I've been growing.
Okay.
And I enjoy collaborating. So
what do you feel like when you need to pull another writer in? Like, what is it that someone else sees and can hear and can contribute to whatever the project is? Like, what are you looking for in that contributor?
Just a new perspective. I feel like all the best songs are just conversations or it's just a feeling. And, sometimes you feel like you're the only person feeling something, but someone else could be feeling that exact same thing and be seeing it from a whole different lens. And it's just a matter of us just conversing. And it just, sometimes those sessions, they're not always like, what rhymes with bear? Care, let's write that down.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like really just a conversation. We might disagree for like 3 of the 5 hours. And then by the 4th hour, it's like the complete sentence and the whole thought comes out. But it came with us like going back and forth and taking a break and getting a bite to eat. And as I'm not even gonna speak for Craig, I'll speak for myself. Like, I can get trapped in my head very easily. Like, I can just have a whole conversation and just start rabbit holing and creating tabs. And sometimes I just need a fresh, new pair of ears or just a trusted friend to just sit down and talk to them. Not saying like my homegirls get songwriting credits on my songs. It's not like that, but just like really just helping like massage the thought. And I happen to be the singer, the person who's presenting the idea, but it's like a result of all of our work. The writers, the producers, the engineers. So I want to make sure everybody's just equally involved and just teamwork makes the dream work.
Is it ultimately about getting to the best product? Because I feel that sometimes young artists who can write, sing, maybe even produce sometimes, I find that because they have the ability to do a lot of things, that same ability hinders the growth because, it might not always lead to the best product because you don't have other eyes and ears on it.
I think
Tyler Perry.
You said it.
And did?
I did not.
I did.
I would say, some people think that the best product is a perfect product, or like the highest quality product, or like the strongest beat, or the hardest lyrics, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really the best record. I think is like whatever is your best at that moment, and whatever you felt, you know, it felt true to you. You know, you felt comfortable, but you felt a little stretched. You just have a feeling like that's your best product. Sometimes I'll be in sessions with people and it'll be a 6-7 hour session. We might come up with one verse and a hook. You know what I'm saying? And may not come back to that song for whatever. Or sometimes we knock the whole thing out at once.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep touching the mic. Yeah. But it's really just about being true to that moment. And sometimes you may not walk out with a record. And I think that maybe with some young creatives, especially with looking online and just seeing like streaming numbers and people with just all the things you don't have, you're just like, I gotta just make it get straight A's. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just hit all the time to acquire that. But in order to get those A's, you gotta like read and you gotta learn and you gotta like take the test and fail and you gotta be ready for a pop quiz or be ready to just like read a new genre. You know, you just have to be really willing to experiment. I think being a creative is very unique because there's no actual correct way to do it. It's really all feeling based. So, I mean, I would tell anybody to just do what feels right to you. And if you feel like there's more, it's because there is. And don't force it. Don't try to squeeze it out. You might have to just take a breather or work on something else. Don't beat a dead horse. It just takes patience. I think everybody's just like looking for perfection, and I'm guilty of it too, and get frustrated when it's not. But imperfection is really the most beautiful part of the creation.
R&B only.